Good morning, Professor. Today is Monday, June 20th, and I just disappeared off the face of the earth for a little bit there, didn't I? So this week, or these past 3 weeks, I have read A Storm of Swords Part 1, Steel and Snow, a Harry Potter fanfiction called Eclipse, and selected poems by Oscar Wilde. So at this point it's kind of pretty irrelevant whatever I say about George R.R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire series, because you all know that I love them. And it's hard for me to express quite how much I love them, because I'm one who is so prone to hyperbole that whatever I say you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt. Especially Kaiti, who I recommended Ota Kirihito so highly to, and who shunned it and blasted it and didn't like it at all. So, you know, I mean, even though you did like The Long Walk, which is great, so what more can I say about it other than, was it my favourite in the series? No, I think Clash of Kings was probably my favourite, but this came very close, and they're all kind of much of a muchness. It's just one big, really huge story. But no, I mean, I loved it. There were chapters where my heart was racing and I was just beside myself, and there were chapters where I wanted to weep, and chapters where I wanted to scream in anger, and the highest compliment that I can give it is that it was just as good as the others. I'd already talked slightly about this Harry Potter fanfiction that I was reading, but it fell by the wayside and I just didn't get a chance to read it. It's also quite long, but I did finish it, and I have to say it's well worth a read. It drops slightly towards the end, but other than that, it's really solid. And one of the highest compliments that I can give that is it helps inform the Harry Potter universe for me. It makes me understand things about Rowling's world that I didn't before, which for a fanfiction is just ugh. Most notably, Malfoy's hatred of mudbloods. I never understood this. It always seemed just like racism for me, but when I actually heard this author describing it and the way that he felt about it, I was like, yeah, I understand. And language can be really powerful that way, and that's one thing that I've definitely learned through the books that I've read this week. In A Storm of Swords, Jaime Lannister and Cersei Lannister are brother and sister, and they are also lovers, and one of the themes in the book is incest. Now, we all know incest, you know, that ain't a great thing, but this book did something to me, and like, it got me to a point where I just looked at this relationship between this brother and this sister, and I thought to myself, yeah, I understand. I don't condone incest. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is language is powerful, and if that can do that to me, if it can make me take one thing which I thought on Rowling's part was just an example of not thinking through a character's motives and not having fully 3D characters, and make me understand that more and believe in it more and enhance a character's persona, and if it can make me take something as dark and as disturbing as incest and make me understand it better, then that's a kind of pretty amazing thing. Someone who also knew the power of language was Oscar Wilde. Segue. His poetry for me is very elegant. His language is obviously very flowery and pretty, but for me it's never convoluted. For me it's all about the phrasing, and he says really beautiful things in a very, I think, a simple and elegant way. Inevitably, he's a poet that favours imagery over a lot of meaning, or at least that's the sense that I get when I'm reading an Oscar Wilde poem. Anyway, I love poetry, and I feel, Kaiti, your poetry rant was just spot on, and I loved it, and I sat through it like a black woman at the Oprah Winfrey show. I can't believe I just did that, and I'm gonna leave it in just so you can see that I just did that, and I'm just hoping to all God that that isn't racist. I should correct that and say that I hope that it isn't considered racist. Okay, that is all from me this week. I will not be here next week either, because I'm going to Venice tomorrow, so I apologise, but starting the week after that, I promise I will not miss a video until the end of this project, because I love this project. And Kaiti, your rant in your video about this project and about journalism made me realise that I really do love this project, and I'll kick myself if I don't give it 100% till the end. So this week I'll be reading The Great Gatsby, next week I'll be reading Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. You'll hear my opinions on both of those books in 2 weeks' time. Lauren, I won't see you tomorrow, but everyone else watching this channel, you see her tomorrow. You'll see me in 2 weeks. This is a long sentence, so I'm just gonna say, for now, goodbye.